He looks very, very focused. He's trained for 9 weeks. He says this is the one that matters more than anything.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the heavyweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, from Brixton, Danny Williams!
Huge support here for the champion, the man in form. Most importantly, the confidence back. Danny Williams returns to the scene of his greatest triumph, because it was here on an astonishing autumnal night last year when he defied all boxing logic by winning this British title with one arm. His right shoulder totally dislocated. In a smouldering scrap with Mark Potter, Williams produced a punch, he says, from God. There may have been no other explanation. He's proved his heart, the skills are obvious. Now he must lay the ghost to rest by avenging his only defeat. But you'll never know how he'll handle the pressure of fascinating, unpredictable boxing maverick.
Yeah, and the trouble with Danny Williams, he has given a couple of poor performances. It sometimes depends which Danny Williams shows up on the night. Hopefully he's focused, he's looking very relaxed. Will he cope with the occasion this time? He must cope with it better than he did last time. He is the favourite again, which may weigh a little bit heavily on his shoulders, but he's entitled to be the favourite. He's younger, he's faster, he should be doing the job tonight.
And the man just to the left of him, Jim McDonnell, could play the difference. He's been mentally focusing Danny. He said he's put him in a trance earlier today. He's had him down here for hours. They've gone through the walks, they've gone through what happened, right up to the first bell. Now we wait to see the action that ensues afterwards. Danny Williams back in the ring where he achieved mission impossible. And doesn't he look a different fighter now?
I think his demeanour outside the ring shows you how he's grown up. I think that's going to be the big difference today. I think Danny Williams has actually grown up, and I think the way the public warmed to him with that one-arm finish against Mark Potter has made him a name.
Let's have a look at the tail of the tape, how they line up now. 2 years and 3 months on. 28 now, Williams, just turned this month. 8 years older, Julius Francis. He'll be the oldest British champion in history if he wins tonight. An inch height advantage, weight almost exactly the same, and both at a good weight, and a reach ahead for Danny Williams. Very close on the stats there. Well, Julius much more experienced, more rounds boxed, but the big hitter, no doubt about it, Danny Williams. Let's have a look at the odds. Big favourite, Danny Williams. He's 3-1 on. Julius Francis 9-4 against the draw, 28-1. But remember, Julius Francis was the underdog when they fought before.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials appointed for this contest by the British Boxing Board of Control, the steward in charge, Dr. Ossing Ross and Mr. Ken Honeyball, the timekeeper, Mr. Nick White from Kingston, and the referee, one of the world's leading referees today, from Leeds. Please welcome Mickey Van. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, from the Wembley Conference Centre, live and exclusive on Sky Sports, it's big fight time. Frank Warren proudly presents Championship Boxing, sponsored by Red Square, the champion's drink that packs a punch. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a contest scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds to decide the heavyweight championship of Great Britain and the Commonwealth. Between and introducing the boxers, firstly fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold. He fights from Woolwich and weighed in at 17 stone, 8 pounds. He holds a 31-fight professional record, 22 wins, 11 wins coming by way of knockout, with 9 losses. He's the former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion. But tonight he is the challenger for the title, ladies and gentlemen, presenting Julius Francis. And across the ring, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed with red, coming from Brixton, he also weighed in at 17 stone 8 pounds. He holds a 24-fight professional record, 23 wins, 19 wins coming by way of knockout, with just 1 loss. He comes to the ring, the current British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, making the first defence of his British title tonight, presenting Brixton's very own, Danny Williams! Mickey Van, the referee, will now give his instructions to both boxers.
Electric atmosphere. Mickey Van, referee. Danny offers, and Julius reluctantly accepts. So repeat or revenge, unfinished business. Has Danny Williams the mental belief not to let the demons back in, and the physical strength to endure a long haul with that knowledge that the right shoulder may never be 100% again? Has Julius Francis got the experience and style to frustrate and block out the expected onslaught? We're ready for battle. Francis, 36. Is he too old, or will he become the oldest fighter in history to become British heavyweight champion? It's the one we've all been waiting for. Francis on the left of your screens in the black and gold. Williams in the white. Because Francis refused to change trunks. He'll be fined for that. His purse been withheld. He's up against the board. Fast start from Williams. We expected that. He's coming off a 32-second demolition of Carly Meehan, the unbeaten Australian. And his confidence, Jim, is sky high.
Yeah, well, he started much more positively already. He's banged in 3 right hands already. One which landed flush. Francis took it well, but already Williams looks more positive. Williams will want to control the pace, slow it down. Sorry, Francis, Williams must not allow that to happen.
Big right hand over the top. The punch that Danny Williams favours. How much has he improved since April the 3rd, 1999? And at the Albert Hall, he was soundly outpointed by Julius Francis, the man enjoying that Indian summer. No one gave Francis much of a chance that night. Same again here.
Well, Francis's plan is obviously to push Williams back, not allow him to come forward, let the big bombs go. So straight away, the tactics are fairly obvious.
Just drops his left hand, Williams, trying to invite Francis in.
He's just been so guilty of falling asleep during some rounds, Williams.
That's been the big criticism. The lazy slacking off Danny Williams with a fast hand speed, talent, and tuned fighter that could, just could, mix with the very best in the world. But if he can't beat Julius Francis, that may never happen. It's a sly old fox, content to block and jab. Left hook to the body from Williams. Who's getting the better start here?
Well, the sharper punches are coming from Williams. There's not much in the round as far as punches landed is concerned, but probably Williams has landed the better punches, the higher quality stuff.
The bigger hitter, remember, Williams, could just have sneaked the opening. Close. Trainer Jim McDonnell there with Danny Williams.
Well, there's a sharpness in Williams' work in the first round that's going to be needed tonight. Got the punches off quickly, got imagination, good variety of shots. A decent first round for the champion.
Here's the second round, both British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles on the line here at Wembley. The champion, Danny Williams from Brixton. The challenger, former champion, Julius Francis from Woolwich. Williams putting the punches together. The long jab. Francis says he's been waiting for this for 2 years to prove it was no fluke. Williams says he's been thinking about Julius most nights since then.
I think Williams must really have been disappointed with himself back then, and that is really motivation when you get a return like this. I think he realises his whole career depends on tonight.
Good jabs from Williams. You get the feeling that whether it's Jim McDonnell or himself or a combination, they've got that belief into Williams, but Francis is a tough old soldier. Yes, Mike Tyson blew him away, but that was at a totally different level.
Francis is coming off second best here, but he's trying to stone-face Williams. He's just trying to show him these punches are not troubling me in the slightest. Just trying to dent his confidence, but the main thing is Williams is the one landing the good shot.
Snappy work here from Williams. Never won an English ABA title, but he had success in the World Championships, and he won a bronze in the Commonwealth Games. The only professional defeat. The man right in front of him now. They used to be friends. They've sparred together for years. Now they are arch rivals.
We're seeing a big improvement in Williams' jab. I mean, nothing moves apart from his arm. He doesn't telegraph it in the slightest. And Francis just can't see it coming. He's just shooting out.
This is the speed that Williams has got. Francis, remember, so much older, but he did turn professional very late at 28, and says he feels like he's 25. Good body shots from Williams.
Williams is turning away from the body shots. I mean, Mickey Van has warned him already. That time he warned Julius Francis, but I thought it was Williams' fault that he got a punch in the kidneys then.
It's a positive beginning from the champion. Julius Francis may need to do more. British boxing fans have wanted. They've got it. There's Danny Williams' corner. He must be ahead.
Yep,
25th, and he says most important fight of his professional career already, Danny Williams. Says he must enact revenge on Julius Francis before he can move on. Possible WBU shot being lined up in September, but he must get business here done first. Francis says that the British and Commonwealth belts have just been out on loan and that he is the rightful owner. Former bad man from the streets of South London, Julius Francis, who had time in jail and has turned himself around and now helps, educates kids in the area. It is a credit to the sport. But how much has he really got left?
Well, Francis is going to have to initiate some of these attacks. He's trying to react to what Williams is doing, and Williams is too sharp for him. So he's going to have to initiate the attacks. Try to put, if it's going to be a hot pace, then it's better if you're the one forcing the pace. So Francis is going to have to realise this and get on with the job. Just kick off some attacks, don't wait for Williams.
But Francis didn't have that good a start the last time they fought. He really came together in the middle rounds. He let Williams have the fast start and came back. Just a little bit of fluff or tape or something attached to the right eye of Francis there. He's really trying to think in there, Julius Francis. His mind might be telling him one thing, his body another.
Yeah, well, he's never traded on speed or sharp reflexes, Francis. So in this type of battle, he's going to come off second best. So he's trying to change the tone of things. He's trying to drop the pace. But Williams not having that.
A really good build-up to this fight. We had both fighters in our studios earlier in the week, and a credit to the game that they sat together for an interview, although they didn't want to shake hands at all, as they didn't before the first bell tonight. But it is business, and that's all it is. Right over the top from Williams. And he's getting angry in there.
I think he tried a little smart trick there, Williams, looking at the referee and throwing a punch at Francis. It didn't come off.
Just gets caught around the side of the head as well, but the pumping jab from Danny Williams, who's boxing well. Francis back with a combination, tries the uppercut.
I think Francis, as I said earlier, is just trying to stone-face. I think he realises he's coming off second best in the early rounds. They can't do anything about it. So he's just trying to break Williams' heart, just show him he's not impressed, because he can do this all night long.
How do you break Danny Williams' heart after what he did with one arm here in October last year? He's proved that part of his makeup, no question about it. Well, that's the jabs, the tool that is working for Williams at the moment.
Yeah, but Francis can't see it coming, and he's catching most of them bang on the face.
And he hasn't rushed in either, Williams. He's taking his time and doing it patiently.
No, but he's keeping a steady pace. He's not allowing Francis to go to sleep to slow the pace down. And you can just see the way he whips that jab. There's no warning that the jab's coming out. Francis is struggling to cope with it. That was the time we looked at the referee. That was like an old pro trick from back in the 40s.
Certainly a sign of the confidence. There's Mark Rowe and Mick Williamson with Julius in the corner there. Mark Rowe, who joined the Francis camp when no one would go with him on a trip to Russia. Long train journeys, cockroaches in the carriages. Julius has been around the world, he's seen it all. And he's got to rely on all of that experience, being in the ring with the likes of Zelko Mavrovic and Axel Schutz and Vitaly Klitschko. Just plodding with the jab, Francis. He's not doing enough.
No, but he doesn't look upset. It's as though Francis was expecting the first half of the fight to be going against him. He's maybe looking for his strength and experience to come into play in the second half, but for me, he's taken too many punches. If he was blocking these shots, I would say fair enough, but he's not. He's taken the shots.
He certainly was looking for a long fight, I think, Julius, who's brought a conditioner, Nigel Moore, on board for this. Got him into fantastic neck, working at sprints especially. Danny, who's been training over in the French Alps at 7,000 feet of altitude. The Jim McDonald camp buzzing with Takalu's destruction of Anthony Farnell the other week in Manchester, which Danny was ringside for. He said he didn't even want to talk about Julius that night. He was so angered and anxious to get into the ring with him. He's got his wish and he's doing the job.
Yeah, but this is a different Danny Williams, much more confident, much more happy within himself. He must be enjoying this.
This is boxing with composure and motivation. Francis sneaks in a body shot, but he has to take a count. Down he goes, Julius Francis. And was it low? Well, he's in agony.
think the punch
is the eye.
I think it's the eye problem. I think the punch landed in the eye. It looks as though, I don't know if the side of the glove has gone into the eye. I mean, it wasn't a knockout punch, but I wonder if the side of the glove has maybe gone right into his eye. You can imagine the pain involved if that's what's happened.
He looks in absolute agony, Julius Francis, and it was Danny Williams who was in such agony in October here last year. But he's got the win that he wants. And, well, it'll be very, very interesting to have another look at that. Julius was just bent over. And he's been down some 18 times in his career. But I haven't seen anything like that.
It looks to me as though maybe the side of the glove, I don't think the thumb part would have landed because it was a good clean shot that went in. So it's possible maybe the side of the glove has just gone straight into his eye. And I can imagine the pain involved in that, but I don't know if every fighter would have been on the floor with it. If maybe you're staying on your feet and showed to the referee you had a problem.
Let's have a look back at it. A controversial ending to this one. Just scraped.
I think maybe the side of the glove has gone right into the eye. I mean, I can imagine the pain involved there. I mean, you can hardly blame. It just seemed to slide right past the eye. That's what I felt happened at the time. And on the replay, that looks like what did happen.
He was in big distress in the corner, and I know how much this meant to Julius Francis. He certainly has not quit. I mean, he's not done that.
Actually, from this angle, you can see the punch actually landed more solidly than it looked at from the side. Actually, I think the punch landed a bit more solidly than I first thought. Let's see if we can get another look at it. Yep, see the impact on his head there. So I think it's a little bit of both. It's been a good shot, and maybe part of the glove has damaged his eye.
The left uppercut that took care of business against Mark Potter has come in different fashion. And poor old Julius Francis, well, not the most satisfactory of endings here, but Danny Williams has got sweet, sweet revenge. Julius punching a towel to his eye there in the corner, and the doctor's with him. Danny's going over to touch gloves, but really, Julius is in so much pain.
Well, it was an inconclusive ending, Adam, but I think we have to say we were seeing who was the better man. It was Danny Williams' night. He had beaten Francis in every department. He was quicker, he was faster, more positive. He had the fight under control. He'd won every round on my card. So I think we know who is the up-and-coming fighter now.
He was boxing beautifully, and he's got the win, the one he really wanted.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round 4, Julius Francis fails to beat the referee's count of 10. The winner, and still heavyweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, Danny Williams.
Williams strikes a blow for the youngsters then. Another young heavyweight in action tonight here at Wembley. Mark Potter, he featured in a thrill with Williams. We'll see him in action against Alexander Vasiliev here shortly. 12 rounds at heavyweight, and much more from Wembley tonight. British light middleweight champ Wayne Alexander returns from injury. Important test for him tonight against Viktor Fisechko of the Ukraine. And one more big fight, an important cruiserweight battle. International opposition for Bruce Scott, the reigning British and Commonwealth champion, up against the French champion René Janvier. That's all coming even before we go to Los Angeles for Roy Jones. But the first man to make a headline tonight is the man who has retained his British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles. He looks like being the future, and maybe now can start to make progress on the world scene. Danny Williams.